Hi, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching and for subscribing. And if you're just visiting, please consider subscribing. So it's the end of March, which means that it's time to talk about March favorites, fragrances that I've used the most during this month. And to be honest, I don't have a lot of favorites this month, and that's because there are quite a few fragrances that were my favorites in the last couple of months that I'm continuing to use. So I don't want to keep showing you the same fragrances. And the other reason is that I have been testing a lot of fragrances this month, going through a lot of samples and figuring out if I like them or not. But in addition to favorites, I unfortunately have a couple of fails as well. And I'm also going to share with you my thoughts and my opinion on the new Delina la Rosee. So let's start with the favorites. The first favorite that I have is from Dior, and this is Feve Delicious. I have been wearing this fragrance mainly when I'm going outside, whatever it is that I do outside, going for a walk, going grocery shopping, or anything like that. This is a stunning tonka fragrance. It also has vanilla, milk, mint, cacao, sandalwood, and it's just beautiful, especially for the colder weather. And I think that's why I've kind of been pulling it out a lot this month, because hopefully we're at the end of cold weather this season, and I don't think I'll be reaching for that a lot during the summer, although who knows. But it's creamy, it's sweet, it's slightly nutty. It has such an interesting punch of mint in the opening that disappears quite quickly. It has a little bit of that cacao or coffee type of vibe. Just a stunning fragrance overall. And like I said, I have been pulling it quite a lot this month. The next few fragrances that I'm going to show you are kind of in the same vein, and they're all sort of relatively simple, uncomplicated, easygoing type of scents, which is, I think, what I've been gravitating towards this month. The first one is Insulo from Jeroboam. This is a pretty simple and yet beautiful gourmand. It has vanilla, jasmine, and musk. Although to me, it really smells like slightly burnt caramel, but in a good way. Beautiful, simple, sweet, kind of satisfies that gourmand craving, but at the same time, very uncomplicated. So that's, again, Insulo from Jeroboam. Next one is Serendipitous from Serendipity 3. I think I shared this one with you in the last haul, I believe. And this is a bakery type of scent. So again, there is vanilla, cacao, bitter orange. As you can see, pretty simple as well. But it really smells like a freshly baked pastry. Bitter orange is here, a little bit here. Vanilla is definitely here, and a touch of cacao is here, but it's just blended together really, really beautifully, where the notes don't really stand out individually. They just kind of work together as a blend. And so again, sweet pastry with a touch of orange, gorgeous, relatively, well, quite an affordable fragrance, so I would recommend it. The only issue is the only place that I found it was Lucky Scent, and shipping to Canada is not the best because you pay shipping, you pay duties. So unfortunately, like I said, that's the only place where I found it, but maybe it is sold at other places as well. But really, really beautiful, kind of understated gourmand. And the last one kind of in this category is also very similar. This is Gromand from Bottega Profumeira. And this one I have been using a lot before going to bed. So this has caramel, vanilla, coconut, amber, musk, benzo, and woody notes. And Again, it kind of has that sweet pastry, caramelly kind of vibe. As you can see, all three of the last fragrances are quite similar. This one is again beautiful, really, really strong. I mentioned before that when I spray this before going to bed, when I wake up the next morning, I can still smell it. Probably of the last three that I have shown, this one has the best performance. It also has really great projection as well. So again, sweet vanilla, some kind of dessert kind of vibe. So like I said, all three of these are quite similar, but that's what I've been gravitating towards this month. And there's only one more favorite that I'm going to show you, and this one is going in a completely different direction. So I have been using this one sort of towards the end of the month when we finally got slightly warmer weather, a lot of sunshine. So I really started craving those lighter kind of fruity floral types of scents, and the one that I reached for the most is In Love Again from YSL. This has blackcurrant, blackberry, grapes, rose, peony, musk. And even though it has a lot of berries in this, like blackcurrant, blackberries, grapes, so a lot of fruits, let's say, but to me, it is mostly a floral fragrance. Like I would classify this as a peony fragrance because peony is really the strongest note for me. It's this slightly sweet, slightly musky peony, which I absolutely love. Peony is probably in my top two favorite floral notes together with rose, which rose is of course here as well. And that happens quite often when a fragrance has peony, it has rose as well. But I don't really get a lot of rose in this one. Like I said, this is mostly a peony fragrance. So refreshing, so happy, and just makes me crave warm weather even more. So again, this is In Love Again from YSL, and this is the last favorite this month. So now let's talk about fails. And there were two fails this month, unfortunately. These were both blind buys that unfortunately didn't work out. So they came and they left very quickly. So I don't have the bottles to show you, but I still wanted to share with you my thoughts about them in case, you were interested about these fragrances as well. So the first one is quite popular. So many people speak highly about this fragrance and really like it. This is Elie Saab Le Parfum Royal. And of course, I'll be putting up a picture here so you can see. Beautiful bottle. And based on the notes and based on the reviews, I really thought I was going to love it. So the notes in here are orange, rose, neroli, patchouli, amber, vanilla, sandalwood. I mean, really all the notes that I love. And I had such high expectations for it. But when I sprayed it on, what I get out of this fragrance is something that's not listed in the notes, and it's probably, a combination of some of these notes that creates that effect, at least to my nose. I get extremely sweet coconut, almost slightly chemical smelling coconut. I mean, I don't mind coconut. There are a number of scents that have coconut in them that I really enjoy, but this was just cloyingly sweet coconut with even a slight touch of being kind of chemical. So I found it very, very difficult to wear. It started bothering me quite quickly. So unfortunately, this was a no-go. I know this will be kind of an unpopular opinion because, like I said, I've heard so many rave reviews about this fragrance. But, we all have different noses. We all smell things differently. And unfortunately for me, it didn't work. The other one is a fragrance that's not spoken about as much, although I've heard a few people speak about it recently, and that's a vanilla fragrance. It's from Essential Parfums. It's called Divine Vanille. Again, I'll be putting up a picture here. And I actually, when I was placing an order at Lucky Scent for Serendipitous, Essential Parfums is also sold there. So I purchased both of those at the same time. And I really had high hopes for it because, again, whatever few reviews that I've seen about it, were quite good. And I mean, it's a vanilla fragrance. We all know I love vanilla. So I really thought this was definitely going to be a winner. And this was a huge, huge disappointment for me. So let me tell you quickly about the notes in here. We have cinnamon, sage, pepper, incense, osmanthus, vanilla, tonka, benzoin, cedar, patchouli, musk. So again, overall, pretty nice notes. But when I sprayed it, it smelled to me like a bar of soap, like a spicy bar of soap. That's it. I got no vanilla in it. I got no tonka. I got no cinnamon, none of that. It smelled like a spicy bar of soap. It was terrible, like really terrible. I couldn't stand this fragrance. So unfortunately, again, didn't work for me, so it left really, really quickly. And now let's end this video with my quick thoughts about the new Delina la Rosee, which came out very, very recently. I have a sample here of this fragrance that I have been testing this month. So let me tell you what I think about it. So the main notes in here are lychee, pear, rose, water notes, and musk. So I think the main difference between this and the original Delina is that we don't have sort of that tartness or maybe slight sourness from rhubarb, and instead it's been replaced by pear. So maybe it is slightly sweeter and not as sharp. And we have water notes, which do make this rose slightly more dewy or slightly more watery. So these are the small differences. But overall, when I spray this on in the beginning and during the dry down, it is very, very similar to the original Delina. To my nose, it is extremely similar. I think if someone sprayed these two on two hands and let me smell, I am not sure if I would pick out the difference. I'm not sure if I would recognize that I was smelling two different fragrances. You know, when I look at the notes and I smell this particular scent, yes, I can see those small nuances that are different compared to the original Delina. But when I look at the scent overall, at the scent profile, when I smell it, I've tested it on my skin, they are very, very similar, very similar. In my opinion, the differences are very, very minute. So for me, because I have the original Delina at the moment, I have absolutely no interest in purchasing this one. And if somebody is thinking about it, well, of course, it's up to you. But if you ask me, I would say if you have one, you don't need the other because they're extremely, extremely similar. So there you go. Here are my favorites, fails, and my thoughts on the new Delina. So let me know, what have you been loving this month? Or maybe you've had some fails as well. And if you have tried the new Delina la Rosee, would love to know your opinion about it. If you enjoyed this video, please remember to give me a thumbs up and subscribe. And I will see you soon in my next video. Bye.